It was a little strange to be at the Harrison Opera House April 13th and seeing the Virginia Symphony players crammed onto its not very capacious stage. The symphony chorus singers were at the rear against a bare brick wall, but without a shell to project their sound forward in Mozart's Requiem. The soloists were also behind the orchestra, tenor and bass on the right, with soprano and alto on the left, what one could see of them. The good news was that the Requiem soloists were excellent. The commanding bass baritone of Darren K. Stokes, the impassioned tenor of Charles Reed, the impeccably clear, creamy mezzo of Susan Platts, and the high, sweet soprano of Janice Chandler-Atom. Their individual voices were more than equal to the music, and they blended beautifully, bringing out the full impact of Mozart's extraordinary setting of the traditional Latin Mass for the dead. Even though they appeared to have been mic'd, the chorus was at first difficult to hear over the orchestra. Closing one's eyes and thinking of the chorus as part of the orchestra helped. Both the singers and players were brilliant in the Kyrie. The Great Dies Irae sequence was impressive, as was the chorus in the Rex Tremendae section, where the dynamics really worked. The orchestra was defined but subtle. The Lacrimosa section was flat-out gorgeous. The latter half of the work had better balance between chorus and orchestra, especially the Benedictus and the sweetness of the end of the Agnus Dei. The all-Mozart evening had begun with the stirring overture to Don Giovanni. It was a fitting prelude before British clarinetist Robert Plain's stunning mastery of Mozart's clarinet concerto in A major, Kirchhoff 622. Slim and jaunty in a collarless dark red jacket, Plain looked quite Lenin-esque as he calmly took the stage. His remarkably expressive sound and equally remarkable dynamics were apparent from the beginning of the Allegro movement as he darted from lowest to high notes and back with consummate ease, rippled effortlessly through daunting arpeggios, or fingered a jaunty figure in the lowest range on his basset clarinet. At the end of the movement, he caught concertmaster von Armstrong's eye. They smiled. Cool. Plain was about more than technical pyrotechnics, though. In the Adagio movement, his playing brought out the intensity and emotional content of the music with long, lovely singing lines. His bright cheerfulness in the final rondo allegro also had in the low ranges almost the richness of a cello sound. His instrument asked musical questions with rippling answers. I was reminded of Papageno's Birdcatcher aria from Mozart's The Magic Flute. It was a most extraordinary performance by an absolute master. It was also the final night of the symphony's classical series, and, as has become a tradition, music director Joanne Falletta paid tribute to players' anniversaries. 10 years for violinist Pavel Ilyashov and violinist Jocelyn Smith and Satoko Rickenbacker. 15 years for bassist Christopher White, 20 years for concertmaster von Armstrong, 25 years for violinist Jorge Aguirre and trombonist Scott McElroy, 30 years for principal violist Beverly Baker, and an amazing 45 years for violinist Lillian Curry. Congratulations, and thanks to these dedicated players. From the other side of the Footlights, I'm M.D. Ridge.